Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. As expected, I think required, Andrew Tate restrictions were dropped by the Romanian judge, or at least loosen up. If you're familiar with Andrew Tate, he and his brother are charged with and accused of human trafficking and other garbage. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Unless proven guilty, you are innocent. But I think that this was triggered. I don't know if it's true or not, as I said, but it was triggered definitely by his views and by his stature, by his influence on the society. I'm not a follower of Andrew Tate. I watched a few things here and there, and I don't think he says anything that is, I don't want to say anything, but he doesn't say genius things. He says common sense things. But nowadays, common sense requires courage, even to say it. So I watched him and I said, well, you don't like what this guy says, don't listen to him. That's how it's in a capitalist system or in a free world. You don't ban just because you don't like what this guy says and say, well, it has a bad influence on children. Don't have your children watch this guy. It's like, well, we're going to ban McDonald's because get people sick, obese, and so on. No, let them be over there. Let them know if you want. Bring counter arguments and tell them, hey, this tastes good, but it's not food, or is this and that. This is the most likely consequence if you eat burgers and all that at McDonald's. But if you want, you're free to listen to the Burger King, right? The same here. You're free to eat Andrew Tate if you choose so. But I think the Matrix got him, and they're going to use him as an example. I will just show you an article from Reuters, and from the title, you understand that he is not welcome. So here it is. Article comes from Reuters. Romanian judge loosens restrictions on influencer Andrew Tate. So Andrew Tate is just an influencer. He's just an influencer, like Kanye West is not an artist or an entrepreneur or a businessman anymore, because he said things that some people didn't like. Some people that don't have power, but somehow now he's just a rapper. And he lost what? $1 billion or something? So again, this guy is just an influencer. Well, he's an influencer, but he's also a businessman. And I think he became so rich, not necessarily by being an influencer. A lot of people are influencers and are not rich. That means you need more than that. A mentality, an attitude, right? You have to act, you have to understand, you have to plan. That businessman mentality. So he's the businessman. And part of it is an influencer. An influencer what? Telling the truth or what he thinks is the truth. You don't think that's the truth? Go and debate him. Like Weasel Piers Morgan went over there to Bucharest, and I think Piers Morgan is the worst of the worst. He's a crawler. That's what I will call Piers Morgan from now on, a crawler. He crawls, that's his level, crawling. Why? On this issue on Gaza, you can't, I've never seen Piers Morgan being so low. Go and watch the second part of the interview. I just made a video on that between Andrew Tate and Piers Morgan in Bucharest. It's like Andrew Tate killed Piers Morgan's parents or something. That's how Piers Morgan interviews Andrew Tate. That's not an interview. That's between a lecture, yelling, calling names, destroying. Try to destroy his character and everything he does. It's based on a subject, and the guy sees things differently based on evidence, and this guy refuses to accept his evidence. Whatever, I'm not going to focus on that one. Let's see what Andrew Tate, he scored a victory here actually. Andrew Tate and his brother will have fewer restrictions on movement as they await trial on human trafficking charges after a Romanian judge ruled they could travel around the country, Romania. The divisive for one, for some, very unifying for others, very unifying for others. But hey, This is Reuters. He's just an influencer. Devices influencers representative said on Thursday. Already, you understand Reuters is part of the matrix. Tate was indicted in June along with his brother Tristan and two Romanian female suspects for human trafficking, rape, and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women, allegations they have denied. Now, I don't know if that's true. They don't know either. The only ones that they know is Andrew Tate and his brother. But sometimes it happened to me, and maybe it happened to you. I hope it doesn't happen to me. It's like Kafka, the process or the trial. If you read it, you don't understand why exactly you're charged. Why would that qualify as your charge brought against me? So let's say I'm doing this and turning around and I get indicted for inciting hatred or something. And you say, what exactly? Where? And they will not explain to you what exactly was that inciting to violence or something. So the same, I think, not Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan might not even understand what the hell qualifies as these charges. It's like they spoke with someone. Let's say, I'm just giving you an example. Someone comes over here and say, hey, Andrew Tate, can you give me my money? Can you give me some money? Let's say the person is a minor. And say, yeah, here you have, and can you sign this hat for me? Here is a hat for you. Here, let me give you some dollars. Oh, thank you very much. Camera. Oh my God, that's human trafficking. He paid her for something later. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe she visited the later. Human trafficking. So you might be thinking, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying that things like this happen to me. When you get accused of things and you're like, what are you talking about? Let's sit down and let's discuss. What I talking about? But they might say, this is green. Not white, it's green. And you're like, Your Honor, this is white. Hey, contempt of court. This is green. And you're like, anybody? Help, please. This is a Soros judge right here. What are we going to do? George Soros appointed, helped. You can't do that. But that's what happens. We're going to find out if they're guilty of something. I would like to hear exactly what they did. Not the judge's interpretation. Amy looked left and then turned around. That's incitement. Oh, no. I would like, probably they will be, could be, might be indicted, convicted, even though, as I said, I have no idea. But nevertheless, this is how do you call it? This is an example. They set an example. That's why they use these guys as an example. Like, for instance, when you read in the media, oh, a teacher was fired because the teacher did not call a student by the preferred pronouns. You can't fire someone for that. You can't. I mean, you can be called disrespectful, but not even that, because you want to push something on me that obviously, and I want you to call me Napoleon. All right, I want you to call me God or something. How far do we go with this imbecility? And then they made that video because they fired the guy, but they're not going to give you the next article in about a month when the teacher is reinstated because he was abusively fired. They don't give you but they set that as an example, and you see that all the time. It's like, oh my God, I can't say anything. Oh, I can't. But they don't give you ended up in being shit, nothing. On the contrary, he sued the school and the school district and blah, 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 blah. They don't tell you that. But you can find it. I have seen on a few occasions. Remember that guy, what's his name? That teenage boy in Washington, D.C. with that elder Indian. Remember? Indian, yeah, from America, who came, the elder, and started beating the drum in front of him, I think it was Lincoln Memorial. And the guy was just sitting over there, not even reacting, smirking. How the media interpreted all that. Do you remember how they destroyed this guy's, future college expectations and desires and wishes and so on? And then what did he do? He sued the motherfuckers. That's what he did. And they showed them only the media angles and redacted. But there are people with cameras. And when they showed the whole history, the elder approached this guy. And who was the elder? They didn't tell you the elder story, but you can read it. A very good citizen. All right? But again, now we have the telephones, we have the media. We can show when the mass media is lying to us by omission. That's their favorite method. And then spinning it. Giving an interpretation of something. Oh, this is green. What are you talking about? It's white. It's green. I clearly see that. There's some people who are like, if you remember Solomon Asch experiment in psychology, the peer pressure experiment. Just look into it. Solomon Asch, A-S-H. Okay, enough with that. So it says, in August were released from house arrest, but in August, the Tates were released from house arrest, but were required to stay in the Romanian capital, Bucharest. This adjustment is judicial control, signifies a notable development in ongoing legal proceedings. Well, a judge had previously loosened restrictions on Tate's movement in September, but this decision was overturned on appeal. Big people over there. Prosecutors say the Tate brothers, who have dual U.S. and British citizenship, lured 7 women into making pornography by pretending to be in a relationship with them. Lawyers for witnesses and alleged victims of Tate say they are being harassed and intimidated in an effort to silence them. Tate's representative denies that. Well, anyway, it says Andrew Tate has become popular among many young men by projecting an ultra macho image centered around fast cars, beautiful women, and money. No, by telling you, hey, that's idiotic, like a father. He's more like a father figure, a strong, successful father figure. That's what he is. He's what, 38 or something like this? Is he? I think something like 36, 38, I think. And for 38, like Vivek Ramaswamy, if you remember, I think he's 30. No, I know he's 38. The same. He's just a father figure that these guys are trying to bury. Look at the commercials. If you don't believe, look at the commercial. When you see a commercial and you see a white man over there, usually he's a very silly guy. Either fat with a beard and funny, stupid kind, and the woman comes and helps him, or someone else. All right? But if you see someone else with a bald head, he's always a man. Why? Who's pushing this garbage? Look at how white men are represented, are featured in the commercials. Just look at that. And you're going to see either very skinny and weasel-like, soybean, or you see fat people with beards and funny and nasty and stupid. All of them stupid all the time and weak. That's the word, weak. Andrew Tate is the opposite. And by the way, he's biracial, so we got a problem here. You can't call him an oppressor, right? And he doesn't call himself a victim because he's not. So he's the one example of a strong, successful father. You don't like that? Get the soybean father or the fat, sloppy and slob father. You can take that one, and they push that image. Look at what Hollywood pushes you. The last movies we have what? Look at Star Wars. Why do you think it fell down? I mean, you have over there one person destroying everybody else, which in real life. And not only that, look at the idiotic Marvel movies. Again, stupid. But you have over there, you meet a person in the street and she thinks that she's going to kick your ass because that's what she thinks. But you can't, you really want to go? Okay, let's put some gloves off. You want to? Gloves on. You want to? Yeah, I'll kick your butt. It's false confidence created by these idiots. It's a false reality. And Andrew Tate paints his reality and says, no, that's the way it should be. Good for him. Now, if he committed a crime, he should be punished, as Bill Clinton was punished, as George W. Bush was punished, as Tony Blair was punished, as what's her name is the Secretary of State that died. Her again. What's her name is? I gotta find her. I can't remember her name right now. Yeah, this American, Secretary of State. When these guys, she's dead, so she escaped justice. A lot of people, and even if she would be alive, these guys are in charge. So when those guys will be charged, convicted, and put in jail, then yeah, I'm waiting for justice to be dispensed to Andrew Tate. Okay? Until then, no. And those guys are still alive, some of them. So why don't you go and knock and get them out? And you can get, while you are at it, you can also get, now they're around some others. I'm not going to go to that one. So nevertheless, my friends, here it is. Andrew Tate is a father figure, a strong father figure, rich, successful. You don't like it? Have your kids watch Soybean or Fat Slobs. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.